Hello and welcome to MISD's video-based training on STAR Test Administration for 2017. This video is presented by the Mansfield ISD Department of Research, Assessment, and Accountability and is designed for campus staff in the Mansfield ISD who may serve as test administrators during the 2017 calendar year. Please be aware that this video is not the full training for test administrators, but is instead designed to accompany TEA documents and face-to-face campus-level training, as well as any additional instructions your campus testing coordinator provides during the STAR testing season. And while we know that's likely not your favorite season, we appreciate your attention to the responsibilities involved. The previous slide noted manuals, and by now you should have received a hard copy of the appropriate test administrator manual, as shown here to the left, from your campus testing coordinator. Those of you who will provide oral administration support to students will also receive the guidelines shown to the right. All relevant manuals are also available at the URL listed at the bottom of this screen and contain TEA's explicit instructions regarding STAR testing procedures. Your campus testing coordinator will also offer additional information related to campus procedures. This video will last approximately 10 minutes and will cover the items listed on screen. Campus testing coordinators throughout MISD requested that these topics be addressed at the district level for consistency and emphasis. It's useful first to provide context as to why TEA requires security and confidentiality protocols. TEA maintains requirements for the same basic reason a teacher protects his or her own testing content, to protect the reliability of the system and process. Students who have access to test content or answers are not accurately assessed on their academic learning, so that content and the materials in which it is contained must be protected. Students also have a right to privacy regarding their academic performance. Each day of testing, all of you as test administrators will be asked to sign out materials allocated to your testing location by initialing a materials control form similar to that shown here. Remember that, once completed, you take responsibility for those materials, so make sure you're receiving what's indicated and keep track of them at all times until you're ready to return your materials. When you're preparing to distribute materials to students and begin testing, before doing anything else, make sure all electronic devices, phones, tablets, smartwatches, etc., are turned off and put away. This includes your own phone and any other devices you possess. When distributing materials to students, check names and other information on pre-coded items to ensure, for instance, that the right student gets the right answer document. Well, that may sound silly now, but it won't if you get that sinking feeling in your stomach upon realizing that you made a mistake after students have finished the test. So be mindful. Also, check with your campus testing coordinator if you're unsure about what test directions to read to students. TEA places special emphasis on the importance of active monitoring by the test administrator. This is because active monitoring is the best preventive measure for a variety of potential problems, from serious issues like student cheating to unintentional activities like a student who cannot stay focused and needs simple redirection. This slide provides some basic do's and don'ts of active monitoring. The key for the test administrator is to stay focused on the students and free from other distractions, like your computer or your phone. And no, active monitoring is not likely to be your favorite or most engaging activity this year or any other, but it is a fundamental part of your job during state assessments. You'll have other duties in the testing room that align with active monitoring of testing. One such duty is timing. Despite changes in the number of items, students are still allotted 4 hours for all STAR tests, the only exceptions being English 1 and English 2 EOC, each of which allows 5 hours for testing. Test administrators should periodically inform students of time remaining and should record the clock time for the beginning and end of testing on the seating chart. Remember, timing does not stop for student-initiated breaks. It only stops if an event affects all students or if a student requires medical attention. Consult your campus testing coordinator for specific procedures regarding lunch and emergencies. Also, be aware TEA will collect time-to-test data for some students in grades 3 through 8. It is much easier this year, and your campus testing coordinator will provide details. Another duty related to monitoring of the room is documentation. The most important pieces of documentation for test administrators are the seating chart and roster. This frame shows a sample seating chart, although your campus may use a different format. TEA mandates that every seating chart must include the names of all adults who monitor the room, as well as the start and stop time for testing. Your campus testing coordinator will offer specific instructions as to procedures for documentation on the seating chart, roster, and individual student answer documents. TEA also places special emphasis on the confidentiality of test content. It is imperative for every staff member to understand that test content is intended for students' eyes only, and answers are to be completed by students only. Furthermore, students are prohibited from taking notes about the test and are required to avoid discussing content they see on the STAR. For teachers, this also means you should never ask students about what was covered on STAR. If your curiosity is intense, you'll have to wait until TEA releases test questions during the summer. TEA's rules on confidentiality also provide another compelling reason to keep electronic devices put away during STAR testing, thus avoiding even the appearance of an irregularity. This frame shows portions of the 2017 Oath of Test Security and Confidentiality for test administrators. Every staff member who may be involved in state assessments should complete an oath, which is valid throughout calendar year 2017. Please read each statement before initialing it. Any test administrator who will be authorized to view secure materials because of student accommodations is also required to sign the boxed area indicating he or she will not divulge or copy test content. Ideally, none of us will have to worry about this frame because everyone will follow procedures properly and no testing irregularities will occur. But it's not a perfect world, so we need to understand what to do if imperfection rears its ugly head. First, remember that serious irregularities involve an intentional breach of test security and/or confidentiality. Simply put, these should never occur. Our advice is, make good choices. The possible gains are minuscule compared to the potential negative consequences. Most irregularities are procedural in nature, involving an unintentional mistake in one of the areas listed. Our expectation is that staff members follow TEA, district, and campus instructions properly, which should prevent problems and ensure a smooth testing process. If a problem does occur, it is not the end of the world, but it is also not an issue that can be dismissed or hidden from view. If you make a mistake, own it and admit it so that it can be rectified quickly. If you suspect a misstep on the part of a student or another adult, keep it professional, not personal. Your first step is always to contact your campus testing coordinator and/or campus principal as soon as possible. They will work with our office to correct the issue in the present and prevent it in the future. Fortunately, Mansfield ISD has historically experienced very few problems with testing over the years, and when it has, staff members have been conscientious about reporting and resolving them. That record speaks volumes about the focus and professionalism our staff exhibits when engaging in the thankless task of administering state assessments to thousands of students each year. We truly appreciate your efforts and look forward to another smooth spring testing season. Thanks for watching.